Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. Using girls on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. Music but Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975. It's Wednesday, which means itchy shoulder. No, it means it's vloggy day, where I just kind of do a little bit of a vloggy waffle about a couple of things that are on my mind, things that I've experienced lately, and just generally want to talk about and know what your opinions and thoughts are upon said subjects. There's a title up there. When was the last time you were called a nerd, and did you consider it an insult or a compliment? This may sound really bit, it's a really big fish. A really little bit out of left field, I'll undertalk. I've just come back from work. I'm off for a few days, so I'm chilling, I'm winding. Yeah, it didn't come out of left field. I bought this yesterday. And basically it's the 8th Doctor, that's Paul McGann's sonic screwdriver. Now there's a new range of these. New range of Doctor Who toys called the something series. I don't know what they are, but basically they're going to work their way through all the sonic screwdrivers, and they do a kind of really mixed batch. So they did the 8th, the 10th, because certain Doctors carry over to sonic screwdrivers. They did the 3rd Doctor, which is John Pertwee's 2nd sonic screwdriver, and obviously they did this, which is obviously Paul McGann's from the Doomed, even though I kind of like it, Doctor Who TV movie. And it's weird, but many people seem to forget that Paul McGann, thanks to audiobooks, is actually the longest running Doctor. Anyway, talking to my mate about it, and we were thumbing through all the sonic screwdrivers, and yeah, sorry about that, nasty. Bacon again, who knew? And I went, oh no, wait, look, 3rd Doctor. Oh shit, they got the 8th Doctor's screwdriver, that's so cool. I'm having that. And a couple of guys walked by, just standard blokes in suits and shit, see, I'm making judgmental observations now. And when someone said, good for you, you said that under your breath, but you said it loud enough so I could hear it, but you could say, well, I just said it under my breath, and said, fucking nerds. And so I got up and went, yeah. Haven't been called that in ages. In fact, I don't think I've ever been called that before, but what's wrong with this? And before we get into that, the descriptive term of a nerd is in how it was first introduced to mainstream media would be, what, Happy Days? Which is Sony's into something that's kind of less popular, or kind of, I don't know, it's going to sound terrible, bedroom-based activity. No, not that, you know what I mean, something that's not mainstream, something that people outside of that, or someone who is mainstream, or in my case, I would say those people are just boring, would look down upon or frown upon, possibly because they don't understand it, or they don't have a passion for something. So I just went, yeah, what's wrong with that? And he's like, dude, and I've touched upon this before in other videos, but it was like, and you're not 12, and I went, no, I like Doctor Who. Didn't realise that makes me a nerd. I thought that just makes me someone who has an interest or a passion in something you have no interest in, but try and remember this, mate. And when I say mate, I don't mean mate, because you're not. Taste is subjective. So there could be something that you like from your own, opinionated descriptive term of me would make you a nerd. So, I mean, what do you do? Do you walk up to someone who's a mechanic? I think the guy was just standing like that. Well, no, he was just standing like that. I know my mate was deeply embarrassed that I dared to voice my opinion at him, but, I don't like ignorant people. So what do you do when you see somebody who likes repairing cars? You just look at him and just go, psst, what are you, a fucking mechanic? Yes, he is. It's his passion. What is wrong with being interested in something? Now, you could argue that being a nerd has, these days especially, multiple connotations, and the fact that, or at least if you take my interest, I like comics, I like action figures, I like retro video games. Does that mean that there's something derogatory and you should stamp nerd upon that, as if it's a negative phrase? Or you should look upon it as I have 3 different interests that greatly enrich, improve my enjoyment of life. To frown upon someone and say, oh, you're a fucking nerd, but I don't do anything apart from go to the pub and drink, come home, and that's it, and then go to work, and then go to the pub and drink, come home, etc., etc., repeat, and rinse and all that shit. Then who's the one here who has the less enjoyable, rich life. It's you, isn't it? So I don't know. I'm just a little bit taken. That's where this vlog's come from. Taken a little bit on a back foot that someone would think that saying to someone that they're a nerd. And I understand there's plenty of people out there, and I am, I guess. That I'm proud to be and wear it on their shoulder, but I've never been publicly called it before, and it just got the old brain box ticking. But I don't know, the fact that you would think it was an insult. I think you basically just summed up, there's someone who enjoys his life and has multiple various interests within it. That's something that I don't completely understand or have any taste or interest in myself. Again, coming back to taste is subjective, so therefore I feel the need to insult him and suggest that him liking stuff that I don't is therefore derogatory. I think that just basically comes down to the other individual's ignorance. You know, I look at people who are, you know, way more into the things that I am than myself, or into things that I'm not particularly a big fan of. No offense to people who are. I'm just using this as an example, such as anime and manga. I don't look at them and think, oh, there's a need there. They're into something I don't like. I possibly should suggest that that's, you know, there's something derogatory or negative about that, and use this term to insult them. I just think, good for you for having, there's the screwdriver again, for having something that, you know, puts fire in your belly and you enjoy and appreciate, you know, on a daily basis, that gives you hours and hours and hours and hours, in some cases a lifetime of entertainment. So yeah, I know it's random, but I just a little bit on the back foot when the under the breath, not under the breath statement meant to be an insult was fired at me in a public place, and I just thought, you know what, thinking about it, am I a nerd? I guess if that's the way you want to analyse it, someone is his ignorance, then yes I am. Is it an insult? No, I think it's exactly what it sounds like, which is you've just used it as a descriptive term to sum up someone who has multiple interests and stuff that you don't like. So yeah, kind of a little bit random, as I said, or I'm repeating again, but you know, have you ever been called a nerd in that stance? You know, when was the last time you were called a nerd, and do you consider it a compliment or a badge of honour, or do you wear it like a badge of honour and openly promote it, or, you know, when people have called you it, do you take it as an insult? I'd love to know your thoughts. You know, leave a comment in the doohickey down below. Second thing I really want to quickly talk about, which I possibly shouldn't, because it just means anyone watching this who's a dick can use what I'm about to impart upon them, which we all know who are regular YouTubers in this community, but it's happened to me again by a company called Grey Tech, or a network called Grey Tech. But it's this, when certain people overly police copyright on their videos by just having automated services that just scan everything else out there and basically just say, hey, played something I played, flag it for copyright, they must be infringing upon mine, with no sort of investigation into it whatsoever. Yeah, I know everyone's talked about this, I'm a little bit late to the party, but it's kind of got a lot worse with me, and it's just, seriously, I don't understand what is with Google's, you know, copyright claim system. I understand that Google themselves are so paranoid about being sued and have to play it safe, which in itself is a contradiction in terms, because they turn a massive blind eye to what most of us consider fair uses anyway, to the bigger YouTubers who obviously make the money, and the smaller YouTubers, you know, such as myself, seem to cop it in the neck when it, you know, comes to copyright infringement, which is why I police my videos and I'm very careful when I make them. But the fact that anyone can flag any video, and it's not on them to prove that there's content within that video, as in this case it was a contra video, it's up to you to fight them. But as you do that, and it takes anywhere up to a month, they can then put adverts, or at least this is what's happening in my case, on that video, which doesn't really bother me. Well, it does bother me that they're making money that something's not their own, but I don't put adverts on videos. But my point is, Google, you do something to police copyright to make it, forget what I just said about big YouTubers, because, you know, that's their blind eye, but in an ideal world, I think they think they're doing it to stop people, you know, abusing copyright. But then why do they have a system in place that's so openly open to abuse itself? And it's down to you to fight it, as opposed to the person to prove outright. You know, I thought it was innocent until proven guilty, but it isn't on Google. So by trying to, you know, play fair with copyright, they basically have a completely flawed, bullshit, bollocks, corrupt system in place that's completely open to abuse. Don't get it. So my second question would be, What's the most unbelievable, I'm not talking about strikes, this stupidest thing that you've ever had a copyright claim on, or video you've had a claim on, and I shit you not. And this was a couple of years back, and I fought it and won, but, well, it was a year back or so, but it just came down to someone actually copyright claimed the video I put up with my new intro with my theme tune. I mean, how can anyone flag, flag that for copyright claim that? And then I have to approve it when the song is written about me, has my name in it, and the video that I made is just nothing but edited clips of me playing various games or vlogging. So in itself there is no actual sound to that, so you cannot say that there's stuff in those gameplay videos that is copyright infringement because my song's playing all over the top. I don't get it. I'd like to know what your experiences are with the system, and does it frustrate you? I'm sure it does frustrate you as much as it frustrates me, because it really is. It's just, I don't understand. Well, I don't pretend to understand Google, because they are a law unto themselves, and some of the stuff they come up with or think is appropriate, or just their business model, or pay your bloody taxes in the UK, by the way, is just ridiculous. So yeah, a couple of random things to talk about are, questions to ask on my Wednesday vlog. And also there is a Burhan and a Boy tonight, so if you have any questions for that, any Q&A stuff you'd like us to answer, and any thoughts, or questions pertaining to the two topics I brought up in this video, please leave a comment. I gotta get this right this time. 8 PM EST and 1 AM UK time, weather permitting, but we already ranted last week about my internet. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.